Transforming Manhattan Living, your complete guide to luxury apartment renovation. Picture this. You walk into your outdated Manhattan apartment and envision soaring ceilings, custom millwork, and that perfect kitchen island where you'll host intimate dinner parties. A New York apartment renovation isn't just about aesthetics. It's about reimagining how you live in one of the world's most dynamic cities. Smart planning makes perfect. Every extraordinary transformation begins with extraordinary planning. At Hoppler Design Build, we've learned that the most stunning renovations start long before construction begins. Think of this phase as architectural choreography, where every move must be precisely planned and beautifully executed. Your renovation journey should begin with a deep dive into your lifestyle. Do you work from home and need a sophisticated office nook? Are you an aspiring chef who dreams of a restaurant-quality kitchen? Perhaps you're a collector seeking elegant display solutions for your art. These conversations shape everything that follows, ensuring your space doesn't just look magazine-worthy, it lives beautifully too. The permitting process might seem like a formality, but in New York City, it's where vision meets reality. Manhattan co-ops and condos operate within a layered approval structure. Board authorization, NYC Department of Buildings filings, and in some cases Landmarks Preservation Commission review for landmarked buildings. Our team navigates these requirements daily, turning regulatory complexity into a clear, manageable path toward your goals. Understanding the true value of quality. Let's address the question every client eventually asks. What does a luxury apartment renovation actually cost? We prefer to frame this conversation around investment rather than expense. When you choose high-end renovation, you're not simply updating your space. You're curating a lifestyle and strengthening your property's long-term value. Quality craftsmanship and premium materials create spaces that age with grace. That hand-selected Calicotta marble countertop or custom cabinetry crafted from reclaimed walnut isn't just beautiful today. It's a design decision that will inspire admiration for decades. We work with every client to establish a budget that reflects their aspirations while remaining grounded in financial reality. Smart budgeting also means preparing for what you can't see. Manhattan's pre-war buildings are architecturally extraordinary, and they frequently hold surprises behind their walls. Outdated wiring, aging plumbing, and unforeseen structural conditions are common discoveries. Our contingency planning ensures these moments become opportunities for thoughtful enhancement rather than budget disruptions. There's a particular moment in every renovation when the space begins to reveal its new identity. Natural light shifts, proportions open up, and suddenly the potential that was always there becomes visible. In Manhattan co-ops and condos, reaching that moment requires careful orchestration. Layout changes and wall reconfigurations involve board-approved plans, licensed structural assessments, and DOB filings before a single modification begins. The process is deliberate by design, and that rigor is precisely what protects your investment. This transformation phase is where our expertise truly shines. We coordinate a team of licensed and insured craftspeople, a requirement in virtually every Manhattan co-op and condo building, from master plasterers to custom furniture makers. Each day brings visible progress, and the excitement builds as your new home takes shape. The final result isn't just beautiful space, it's the discovery of how thoughtful design enhances daily life. Morning coffee tastes better in a custom breakfast nook. Work feels more focused in a perfectly lit home office. Evenings become more restorative in a spa-like master bathroom. Your Manhattan sanctuary awaits. A successful apartment renovation transcends home improvement. It creates a personal sanctuary that reflects your story while embracing the energy of Manhattan living. Whether your style leans towards sleek modernism or timeless elegance, your transformed space should feel authentically, unmistakably yours. Ready to begin? At Hoppler Design Build, we guide you from the first spark of inspiration through every approval, every decision, and every detail until the day you step into the home you've always imagined. Because in a city that never sleeps, home should be the one place that feels exactly right. What factors have the biggest impact on the total cost of a luxury apartment renovation in NYC? Several key elements shape the overall budget. The scope of work matters most, ranging from cosmetic updates to full layout reconfigurations. Structural, electrical, and plumbing modifications add complexity and cost, as do material selections like natural stone, custom millwork, and designer fixtures. Custom cabinetry and built-ins, building logistics including elevator access and delivery windows, hidden conditions behind walls, and timeline requirements all factor into the final number. Accelerated schedules and specialized trades typically carry a premium. How do building approvals, permits, and board requirements affect the budget and timeline? Permits and board approvals have a direct impact on both cost and schedule. DOB filings and co-op or condo board submissions require detailed architectural plans, documentation, and inspections. Additional costs may include expediting fees, updated insurance certificates, and plan revision charges. Approval timelines can extend a project if submissions require resubmission or supplemental information. Proceeding without proper permits risks fines, stop work orders, and expensive corrections after the fact. Budget and schedule should always account for this phase from the outset. How does the price differ between a cosmetic refresh and a full gut renovation with high-end finishes? The gap can be significant. A cosmetic refresh, covering paint, fixtures, flooring, and finishes without touching layout or infrastructure, is the most budget-efficient path to a refreshed space. A full gut renovation with high-end finishes involves structural work, custom millwork, premium material procurement, and full coordination with building management and city agencies. The investment reflects not just the materials and labor involved, but the level of design thinking, project management, and regulatory navigation required to execute it properly in a Manhattan building. How do I know if my Manhattan apartment renovation requires board approval? Almost every renovation in a co-op or condo building requires some level of board review. Even cosmetic work like new flooring or updated fixtures may need to be reported under the building's house rules. Any project involving plumbing, electrical, structural changes, or alterations to walls will require a formal alteration agreement, detailed plans, and proof of contractor licensing and insurance. The safest approach is to assume approval is required and confirm the specifics with your building management before any work begins. Our team handles this coordination as a standard part of every project. What is the difference between a co-op and a condo renovation in New York City? The approval process differs meaningfully between the two. Co-op boards tend to have broader authority over renovations and can impose more restrictive conditions, including limitations on work hours, materials, and scope. Condo boards generally have less control but still require alteration agreements for significant work. In both cases, NYC DOB permits are required independently of building approval. Understanding your building's specific rules early in the planning process is essential to setting realistic timelines and budgets. How long does a luxury apartment renovation typically take in Manhattan? Timelines depend on the scope of work, material lead times, and the approval process. A high-end cosmetic renovation can take 2 to 3 months. A full gut renovation involving layout changes, custom millwork, and premium finishes typically runs 4 to 8 months or longer. Co-op board approval alone can add 4 to 8 weeks to the pre-construction phase, and material procurement for custom or imported finishes should be factored in well before work begins. Do I need to move out during the renovation? For cosmetic updates limited to one area of the apartment, some clients choose to remain in place with careful scheduling and dust containment measures. For full gut renovations, relocating is strongly recommended. Manhattan building rules frequently restrict work to weekday daytime hours, which extends timelines, and living through a full renovation adds significant stress to an already complex process. We help clients think through this decision early so it can be factored into the overall project plan. How do you handle unexpected conditions discovered during construction? Pre-war Manhattan buildings in particular can reveal aging infrastructure, asbestos-containing materials, or unforeseen structural conditions once walls are opened. We build contingency planning into every project budget from the start, and we communicate any discoveries promptly with full transparency on implications for cost and schedule. Our goal is that nothing comes as a surprise, and that every unexpected condition is met with a clear, considered solution rather than a reactive one. When is the right time to start planning a Manhattan apartment renovation? Earlier than most people expect. Between design development, board submission, DOB filings, and material procurement, the pre-construction phase for a full renovation can span 3 to 6 months before a single contractor sets foot in the apartment. If you have a target completion date in mind, working backward from that date is the most reliable way to structure a realistic timeline. A complimentary consultation is the best first step, giving you a clear picture of what your specific project requires and how to plan for it.